initial planting in Rockwool.
Yeah.
So how do you properly prepare and condition Rockwool before planting seeds or clones into it?
Yeah, so Rockwool has a natural higher pH, so I believe it sits somewhere around like 7.5, 7.7, something like that. At least the Grodan, which is the company whose Rockwool I utilize, I believe it's somewhere in the mid to high sevens. So you actually will essentially just get a big, like 100 gallons of water, pH is water down to 5.5, and then we'll drop all of the blocks that we're using into that water to soak for like a half hour to an hour. And essentially what that does is it brings that pH level down to more of a neutral pH of around 6.2 to 6.5, somewhere in that range, which is safe for younger plants. And then, yeah, that's it. You essentially just have to, you just have to condition the plant or condition the medium to receive a plant. But that's it. It's super easy. And then the cool thing with that is you don't have to saturate afterwards. Like with soil, a lot of times you'll have to, you'll kind of dampen the soil, and then you'll plant your seed, and then you'll cover it, or you'll plant your clone or whatever, and then you'll go back and rewater the soil. You don't even have to do that because you just did that soaking process. So it kind of also removes a step just in the act of having to do that. So yeah, pull it out, put it in a tray if it's a clone, or put it into a block if it's a clone going into a block, or whatever stage of life is. With all of the Rockwool, you have to condition it, if you will, and get the pH correct, and then from there you just put whatever you're going to put it into.
And then as that is a seedling or a clone that's rooting, what techniques do you use to encourage strong root growth in Rockwool?
I mean, for one, I definitely use Clonex. I'm not a person that says you have to. There's been plenty of times where I've gone and need to take cuts and didn't realize I was out or something like that. I take the cuts anyways because the cuts got to be taken, So, but ideally, I use Clonex if I can because it has a rooting hormone, and it also kind of just helps when you make a cut. If we're talking in cuts, not seeds, it helps when you make that incision and that cut line to just sterilize it, make sure there's no infection that's going to get into it, and then also give it some hormones and something to kickstart that rooting process. Outside of that, nothing. It's just, I go into the 1.5 inch Aokis, which are the clone cubes that we use. And yeah, I mean, the conditioning of it is really that simple. And as far as seeds go, I'll usually I do the cup tech where I'll just pH some water to like 6.5, some RO to 6.5, and I'll just drop the seeds into a solo cup, let them sit for usually just one day, and they'll crack. Sometimes 2 days, but never more than 2 days. And then as soon as they split and I see the little taproot, I'll just take them, place them out, taproot down, and pop them in one by one individually into the same 1.5 inch Aokis. So rather than doing clones or seeds, it's always the 1.5 inch Aokis.
So the Clonex that you use, are you just dipping the cutting into that, or are you doing a soak of the Rockwool with the Clonex solution?
No, there's some people that do that, but no, I just do strictly water, and then I just have a little shot glass that I'll pour some Clonex gel into and just dip each clone in, and yeah, super easy.
This clip was brought to you by AC Infinity. Use discount code MrGrowit15 to save on any of their gardening products.